What's up, guys? I'm here to talk about the new Mel Gibson film Hacksaw Ridge that just dropped in theaters last weekend. This is a non-spoilers review, so don't worry if you haven't seen it yet. I'm not going to spoil anything. This is something we'll be doing on the channel pretty often. Myself and my co-host Jake don't always see movies together, so there will be weeks where it's just one of us, and sometimes we'll do a review together. Just depends on the case. But for this one, I'm on my own, and Hacksaw Ridge is inspired by a true story centering around Desmond Doss, who is played by Andrew Garfield. He's a conscientious objector in World War II, and he is against carrying a weapon on the battlefield. He's just there to help soldiers, and he does so by serving as a paramedic at the Battle of Okinawa, which is one of the bloodiest battles in history. Coming into this film, I was really excited just from the trailers. We talked a little bit about the Mel Gibson stigma yesterday on the show, so if you're against seeing this film, I completely understand, but if you love a good war movie, this is that. We start off in the South when Doss was a little kid. We see his father has lost many friends at war and has become a hard drinker. And we flash forward where Doss meets a nurse at the local hospital who eventually turns into his wife, played by Teresa Palmer. He becomes interested in learning a trade through her, and then all the stuff you see in the trailer happens. He decides to enlist in the army, much to his father's chagrin, and while he's there, he gets scolded by his fellow soldiers and Sergeant Howell, which is played by Vince Vaughn. I'll say this, the first act was very conventional. It was a little slow establishing the relationship between Garfield and Palmer, which is the only reason this movie wasn't a classic in my eyes. But once we hit the action, it might be the grittiest display of violence on film that I've ever seen. That's not an exaggeration. It will blow your mind. It's the same sound and editing team that did Mad Max, which was another crazy movie. And I'm not the biggest fan of huge battle scenes when they go on too long, but this one had to be long, it had purpose, so it was very effective. I can't say enough about it. As far as the performances go, there's a lot of buzz surrounding Andrew Garfield, who I thought was good. The accent was a little distracting, but ultimately you're on board with him once we kick into gear. I thought Vince Vaughn was fantastic in this movie. He's done a few dramatic roles, but I think this is his best, and there's still room for comedy in this film, in this role, and there's definitely a few laughs from his character. I'm a fan of Teresa Palmer. I thought she did a great job carrying Lights Out, which could have ended poorly with a lesser actor in that role, and it turned into a very enjoyable horror film. But my MVT award, which stands for Most Valuable Talent, goes to Mel Gibson. An amazing comeback. He might be a little insane, but he knows how to direct a movie. He adds to his legacy here, and I recommend you guys get out there and see this movie if you haven't done so already. So that's my brief review of this film. I would highly recommend it. Let me know what you think down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Remember, me and Jake will be back next Friday with our full hour-long show talking about everything in the week of movies. Also, if you haven't, check out yesterday's episode where we discussed this week's big release, Arrival. Until next time, I'm Justin. Deuces.
Please, Lord, help me get one more. Help me get one more.